What's up, everybody? This is Pretender here again, and I'm bringing you a match of Team Deathmatch on Stadium today. And this isn't the greatest gameplay, but it's got some fun rushing in it, and I'm using the Gleal with dual mags, which is a different combination. A lot of people use the Gleal with the silencer and stuff, so I put this up. But what I actually wanted to talk about today was game balance and just kind of my opinion on it, I guess. And it really relates to this game in a lot of ways, I think, because Black Ops is probably the most balanced Call of Duty yet, and there's some pros and cons to that, I think. I guess we could start with you had I don't know about Call of Duty 1, but Call of Duty 2, your pistols were worthless, your SMGs and I don't think they had LMGs, but your SMGs, machine guns and stuff, they were I mean, you could get away with using them, especially when the game first came out, because a lot of people who played it were just playing it were not they weren't hutches running around with their like the most effective weapons in the game, the single shot rifles or the sniper rifles without scopes and stuff. And so you could use them kind of, but the main weapon was going to be, like I said, that sniper rifle, that unscoped or scoped sniper rifle, regardless. And I mean, game battles or whatever would, or it might have been MLG, and they would only let you have one person per team with a scoped sniper rifle because it was just so ridiculously effective in the hands of even like just a decent player. The aim down the sight speed was the same as it is in what's it called? The aim down the sight speed with the sniper rifle with a scope in Call of Duty 2 is as fast as it is in not Black Ops, but Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 4 with sleight of hand. So that tells you, it gives you an idea how ridiculously overpowered those were. So that game was kind of lacking in balance, and I'm not sure that was a good thing or a bad thing. But if everyone's using the same gun, at least the good or better players, maybe not good players, but better players are all using those sniper rifles, it works out okay, but again, not the most balanced game. So we move on to Call of Duty 3, which we're going to entirely skip over because that game was just, it was a game, and that's all I'm going to say about it. So we'll get to Call of Duty 4, and Call of Duty 4 was reasonably balanced. You had the M16, which was the god gun of that game, and it was just amazing. And I mean, some people didn't like it because it was some people that I know at least didn't like it because it's just three burst gun, and they have some problems using that. But and I'm sure some people have the same feeling about three burst guns. But I and a lot of other people use the M16 profusely because it was a one hit kill with stopping power, and I mean I don't. It was kind of a problem in that game running out of ammo, but not as much in say Modern Warfare 2 or something. So the M16 has always been a great gun to use because of the three burst sense for ammo conservation. But anyways, M16, very powerful gun. Move on to the Modern Warfare 2 or no, Bullet War came out, I guess, and that game was pretty much Call of Duty 4 with a World War II skin is kind of how I've always thought of it, and it was a fun game, but it's I'd rather stick with Call of Duty 4 just because they really are almost identical besides the theme of it. So Modern Warfare 2, that game had no balance at all, but this is going to be my main talking point because Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2, when it comes to balance, are just so vastly different. But at the same time, there's good and bad things about that. I mean, and I'm gonna put aside like I'll make it clear here. I wasn't a huge fan of Modern Warfare 2 because it was a really good game, but it had a lot of major game breaking problems that Infinity Ward just wasn't willing to address, and I'm not sure their reasoning behind that. But things like One Man Army Noob Tube, and early on the game wasn't even playable because of all the hacking going on, and it's still terrible. So that stuff, like I was just going over it to give my reasons for disliking it, but that's not the main point. We're talking about balance. So Modern Warfare 2 is the most fun I've ever had with a Call of Duty game. Besides all the things I said, it was really just pure fun. I mean, it was a brightly lit game. It had a nice art style, but the guns, the game's balance was not there. And I think that's part of what made it so fun because, I mean, I looked forward to unlocking even the bad guns. The guns I knew were bad, like the F2000 or something, I wanted to use them because all the different guns had different things that made them not special, but they all had unique things about them, and they were all enjoyable to use. And you had your ACR, which had no recoil when you put a silencer on it, and you had the Scar H, which is my favorite video game gun of all time. But the thing I remember about that game, like I'm saying, is that you just all the guns in it had something, or all the whole multiplayer component, everything I wanted to use. I mean, I wanted to unlock all the stuff for the guns, whereas in Black Ops, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I need dual mags, I need a red dot sight, maybe a reflex sight. I'll pick between the two, and for a couple guns, I'll use silencers. Otherwise, that's what I run on all my classes, and that's what the majority of people run on their classes. And no one buys an infrared scope, and no one buys, the silencers for the sniper rifles, because all that stuff, it's just bad. And I mean, I'm sure that was present to some degree in Modern Warfare 2. Maybe I just didn't notice it, but all that stuff in the game, everything in the game just seems so fun. And in Black Ops, they've got the balance down, not perfectly, but it's a really good balanced multiplayer. And the problem with that is that it becomes boring, I think. And I'm not sure. I guess as ironic as it is, they need to balance the balance, and you want to have some things that aren't gonna, they're gonna get some people mad occasionally, but it's not gonna be totally balanced like Black Ops is, to the point of where it's kind of bland, but it's gonna, it's gonna have that same core multiplayer balance, with nothing being super overpowered, but there is the occasional, wow, this gun's crazy awesome, and that's kind of like the FAMAS in this game. But to be honest, I can use any of the assault rifles equally effectively, except for maybe the M14, and even that isn't that bad of a gun. I mean, it's not the best assault rifle, but when you say a gun is bad in this game, that's, I mean, speaking over, not bad in another game. This is getting confusing. Basically, if you say a gun is bad in Black Ops, that means that it's only slightly less useful than all the other guns. And that brings this match to an end. I'll probably continue this conversation in another gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to comment on anything I've said. I know it's pretty opinion heavy, but it was just something I've noticed about this game overall, and so let me know what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks.